Well, good morning. It's now Monday, the 13th of September, and it's my 10th LinkedIn Live. So I wonder how you're doing. Have you had a good weekend? Now, I'm just double checking with something because I'm not sure if I'm going live on my own profile or if I'm going live on my business profile. Okay, now I can see it. You know, there's a lag when you go live on LinkedIn Live, and the lag is about 60 seconds, I've just found. So there you go. Interesting. So I hope you've had a really good weekend. It was a beautiful sunny weekend in Sydney, and so I had a lovely walk down Balmoral Beach, which was lovely. And I noticed in the news reports that there were just thousands of people flocking to Bondi Beach. There were quite a few down at Balmoral Beach as well, and I believe down in Melbourne it was a little bit overcast and a bit chilly. I just noticed there's something in the comments that, oh, hello. Hi, Kay. So nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. And you're joining me via Facebook. How good is that? So there you go. So I'm broadcasting on LinkedIn, broadcasting on my business page on Facebook, and also on my YouTube channel. So it's concurrently going across 3 channels. And today I'm going to be explaining to you what I talked about last week. We talked about the follow-up email after you go for a job interview. So today I'm going to tell you what you need to put into the job interview. But before we do that, I just want to give you a link, because this will be very helpful because of COVID, and people are, experiencing a lot of anxiety and stress, and they're just fed up. I wonder, are you fed up with all of the lockdowns? If you've been in Victoria, talking to a lot of my colleagues and friends down in Victoria, they really are over it because it's been over 200 days of lockdown for them. But if you're feeling a little bit anxious, I have a course. It's called How to Manage Stress, and normally it's over 100 Aussie dollars, but during COVID I'm offering it for free. So if you want to take the online program to help you to take stock of your current situation and go through 5 proven ways to really alleviate stress, then go to www.thecareersacademy.online/ type in confidence, because it helps you to build confidence. But the program is How to Manage Stress. So you're very welcome to go and have it for free. There's a coupon code there, so you'll be able to use that and you won't have to pay anything. All right. And hopefully it will help you as well. And so today, talking about the follow-up email, I'm going to share my screen, and let's see now. Hold on, I'll just change my comment to there. Then let me share my screen and let's get into my career tips. Okay, there you go. And I will just begin the slideshow from the start. Okay, so career tips. If you've been enjoying these career tips, go and follow the hashtag Jane Career Tips, because you'll be able to find all my previous career and job search tips there as well, because I talk about accomplishment statements and resume formats and how to prepare for job interviews, all sorts of things, and that could be helpful. So just follow that hashtag and you'll find it. And so today we're talking about your follow-up email to ensure that you do everything you need to really tip the balance in your favor for interviews. I've talked about what to do before interviews. I've talked about what to do and say during interviews, and now your follow-up email. So what should you put in it? Because some people don't write follow-up emails. It's business etiquette, that's all. Now, if it's appropriate, send a follow-up email. If you don't feel comfortable sending one, the choice is yours. It's your prerogative. But I'm just letting you know that you could send a follow-up email. And if you do, make it another marketing opportunity for you, because sometimes you do really well in interviews and you feel great. Other times you think, oh, I wish I had said something different, or I wish I had been better prepared. So you may be able to turn things around with your follow-up. Okay. Now, in hashtag Jane Career Tips, if you want to know what I've talked about in my previous broadcasts, tip number 1 was how to identify your accomplishments, your tangible accomplishments, so that will help to set you apart. It's a little bit like your superpower. Number 2 was the best resume layouts. Number 3 was resume do's and don'ts. Number 4 was how to create a summary section for your resume. 5, I went into interviews and talked about the 4 fatal flaws so you can avoid them. 6 was how to create a powerful positioning statement, a verbal pitch. 7 was how to address common interview questions. 8 was how to handle behavioral questions. And 9 last week was the 4 questions that you can ask during interviews. So I've covered an awful lot of information. And what I think I'll do is I'll, at some stage, compile them all together so it makes it easy for you. But if you want to review what I've told you, go to that hashtag and you'll find it. So today, the 4 R's of a follow-up email. Okay, so why should you write a follow-up email? First of all, it's business etiquette. It's polite and it's nice. Do you remember in the good old days when we'd go for a dinner party or something, and then afterwards you'd write a little card as a thank you and pop it in the post in snail mail, and for the person who is receiving the thank you note, it was just a good feeling that people appreciated your time and your effort. I know I certainly used to love receiving those. Now I don't get much snail mail these days. Do you? I'd be interested to know if you get snail mail. Now, before COVID, when I used to have dinner parties, it's been a while since I've had a dinner party, 2 years actually, people would send a text as a thank you, or maybe an email as a thank you. Nothing in the post anymore. And I love receiving cards. But if you send a thank you email, what it does is it makes people think favorably of you. It shows that you have attention to detail, you pay attention to detail, and it gives you an additional opportunity to let people know. It's a reminder of how good you are, all right? So when you're sending a follow-up email, I'm going to tell you the 4 things that you need to include in it in order to ensure it's useful and well worthwhile your time to send them. Okay, so the first R, there are 4 R's, and you just remember R, 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 and R, and you sound a little bit like a pirate when you say that, don't you? Or a parrot. Okay, so the first R, the reason why you send it is remember me, because in their email inbox, your interviewer, the hiring manager, hopefully, your name pops up in their email inbox. And so it's an additional touch point, because the more touch points you have with someone, whether you're selling a product or a service, or you're interviewing and developing a relationship with someone, the more touch points you have, the more familiarity is bred. And the more often you see something, the more comfortable you feel about it. This is why people advertise, because if you see a brand on the side of a bus, or you see a brand on a banner, a billboard, you see a brand on social media or in the news, in newspapers, hear about them in the radio, or see them an ad on television, it's reinforcement, reinforcement, reinforcement. And usually, if something is reinforced many times, you start to feel familiar and comfortable with them. So a thank you follow-up email, it gives one more touch point, which could be good for you. Yes. Now, the next R is to reinforce the positives. So if you feel that you did quite well during the interview, or very well, then why not use that first paragraph, in addition to saying thank you so much for your time, it was really interesting to meet you. Talk about how suitable you are for the role and how interested you are and why. Just a brief paragraph to reinforce what you bring to the table that will be a solution to their problems. You don't have to make it a long dissertation. Make this very short, no more than 1 page, please. But do highlight how close a match you are for that position. Easy, yes? Now, the third R, and this is to really help you, is to recoup your losses. If you were a bit nervous during the interview, or maybe you didn't present yourself as well as you had hoped, then this is your opportunity to recoup your losses by saying something like, we didn't have enough time to expand upon this, whatever that topic might have been. However, I have, and then you could talk about a brief achievement, or how much experience you have in that particular area that you feel that you didn't do so well in during the interview. Because sometimes you feel a bit nervous. People are quite forgiving. Most people feel a bit anxious during the interview situation. I like to say, honestly, it's just a conversation. They're sussing you out, you're sussing them out, basically. If they want you, you might not want them at the end of the day, because you do have a choice. So that takes the anxiety out of interviews. But if you were feeling nervous and you didn't express yourself as well as you would have liked, then this third R is to recoup your losses, right? And hang on, I just want to do one thing here and see how that goes. Okay, that's good. Just seeing if there are any messages that are actually popping up. Okay, and the final R is a reminder of the next steps. Now, I'm hoping that during that interview process, what you did was ask them at the end of the interview, can you give me an indication as to what the next steps are and the time frame? And so if you know what the next steps are and they've told you that the time frame is in 2 or 3 weeks' time, they're going to be contacting you again. Perhaps they've given you a date, 30th of September, say. Then you could say, as mentioned during the interview, I look forward to hearing from you by the 30th of September. And so that means you're keeping them accountable to stay in touch with you and you're not ghosted afterwards. Sometimes the ghosting happens, yes. So a reminder is good. And also it's good to know the next steps and the time frame, because it gives you that peace of mind to know that if you haven't heard by a certain date, that's the time when it should trigger your follow-up to find out if you are still in contention for the role. How easy is that? The 4 R's of sending a follow-up email. Okay, now just want to let you know I'm really, really excited because I am rebranding and relaunching the Careers Academy very soon, and there will be 3 different programs for those who need it or want it. There'll be a career transition program for job seekers, a career growth program for those who want to advance in their careers as well and develop their leadership skills. And I'm very excited about this because this is not an offering that I had before. And then finally, it's the Rule the World Lifetime program, where you get the whole shebang and you have access to all of my online programs, which are to do with job seeking, career reinvention, leadership foundations, career development roadmaps, and all sorts of support for your career. If you want to know about it, then you can join the wait list. Just go to thecareersacademy.online and you click join and it will take you to a wait list. Then I'll notify you when we go live. All right. So you can also download many, many free resources at thecareersacademy.online. You're very welcome to go and download them, and it'll give you a little bit of a boost. And these Monday morning live broadcasts to give you a bit of inspo and energy in order to continue with your job search week if you're looking for a job. I have a careers communications pack that people have told me is fantastic, that has templates for your accomplishment statement, resume, cover letters, verbal pitch, all sorts of things that are very interesting, plus how to address key selection criteria. And if you need it now, because you attend this LinkedIn Live, you can use this coupon code LinkedIn Special and you can get it for half price, if that's interesting. All right. Now, every Monday morning at 9:15, I'm here for 15 minutes for a shot of inspiration. You can find out what else I've told you about by following that hashtag, Jane Career Tips. And now I am going to stop sharing my screen and let me remove that, and I'm back here. So I hope that that was helpful. Let me just have a look. There are a couple of comments here. Ivan, hello, Ivan. Nice for you to join me again. Andy, Joyce, I love seeing your face here. Every Monday you're with me. That's so nice. And Megan, rule the world. Oh, Megan, so good. How are you, Megan? Melbourne lockdowns. I know you're in. Where is it? Geelong. I hope you're okay. How are you doing? Hope you had a good weekend as well. So yeah, I like this rule the world exclamation mark. Absolutely. Okay, so I don't know if you've got any questions. I hope that this has been helpful for you. It's now 9:30, so this was my quick 15-minute shot of inspiration for you, and I'm here every Monday. Of course, if you're watching the replay, please feel free to put hashtag replay and ask any questions if you're concerned about that follow-up email. Or you know what? Last week I had some people during a webinar that I was conducting for one of my corporate clients who felt uncomfortable about sending a follow-up email because they thought it was trying too hard. However, it depends on how you word it. So I'd love your comments on whether you would send a follow-up email or if you're going to give it a go. Oh, Megan, you're recovering slowly. Oh, yes, of course, you're in Sydney. I forgot. You've moved up here. It's been so long with lockdown, and I'm looking forward to our lunch. It's going to be very good when we can finally get together and meet each other face to face. Megan has been absolutely lovely. She's been a part of my network for a long time. They sound amazing, interested in the pro. Oh, thank you. Yes, maybe you can give them a test run for me. I'd really like that. So Megan's commenting from Facebook as well. Okay, lovely. So, okay, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. If you're looking for a job, good luck. If you need support, just send me a DM via Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. I prefer LinkedIn, to be quite honest. So let's see. Oh, 100% yes. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. It really is nice to have you here with me as well. Okay, so go and check out on LinkedIn, though. You'll have to go to LinkedIn to find it. Hashtag Jane Career Tips, and you'll find career tips, from 1 to 10. And every week I'll be doing something different. And so I'll tell you what's coming up. Next Monday will be how recruiters perceive you and why. So depending on your current situation, there is an assumption about you and your capabilities from recruiters. On the 27th, that's on the 20th of September. 27th will be networking basics, how to create a marketing plan for your strategy to get a job. On the 4th of October, networking basics, who and how on LinkedIn. So how you can really expand your network and develop strong relationships on LinkedIn. Plus, I've got my schedule right through till December. So you've got me every Monday morning. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will say sayonara. And thank you, those of you, for joining me. See you next Monday. Bye now.